his father and William that they were trapped in the most terrible life. Now he's coming back and pretending that it's fantastic, so pleased to be here. You know, the hypocrisy is extraordinary.
I don't understand the seriousness of the damage that he and Meghan, his American wife, have done over the past 5 years.
I can't understand how you can actually not judge a man who was... there's something compelling about hearing all this nonsense. You just want to know, you want to hear about it. You can't believe it. You can't believe what he's saying. You can't believe the lies he's telling.
Oh, honey, let me tell you, the way Prince Harry just snapped after Angela Levin's latest TV appearance. Whew. One moment, she looked like this sweet little grandma ready to talk about teacups, and the next, boom! She dropped an explosive revelation that ripped Harry's world to shreds. And get this, Angela didn't hedge, didn't sugarcoat. Nope. She went straight for the jugular, dropping raw truth about Archie and Lilibet's legitimacy. Truth the palace never wanted out. Harry? He lost it. Full meltdown. Panic mode. Legal threats flying like confetti. And honestly, the wild part? Every frantic move he made only proved Angela's point. It was like watching a seasoned royal assassin quietly dismantle a prince with nothing but facts and a grandmother's smile. So picture this. Angela settling into that studio chair, all calm and cozy, papers neatly stacked. Everyone's expecting the usual polite royal commentary, right? Some chatter about Catherine's outfit or palace protocol. But this time, oh, there was a glint in her eye. That look of someone who's been silently collecting puzzle pieces for years and is finally ready to slam down the full picture. She straightens her papers, looks dead into the camera, and with the calmest voice ever, she delivers the line that ignites the firestorm. There may be serious unresolved questions about Archie and Lilibet's legitimacy. Mic drop.
It's all about him, and he can't actually get out of it. You want to sort of smack him and say, now come on, think about somebody else for a second.
The studio went silent, like pin drop silent. And Angela? Oh, she was just getting started. With surgical precision, she began methodically dismantling every single royal protocol Harry and Meghan ever ignored. Where were the public hospital step photos? She asked, eyebrows raised, almost innocently. And she's right, every royal mother before Meghan did it. Kate, Diana, Sarah Ferguson, every single one. Those iconic photos aren't just cute snapshots, they're constitutional proof those babies are real and royal. But Angela didn't stop there. Nope, she dove deeper. She referenced reports from Samantha Markle, oh yes, Meghan's estranged sister, about disturbing claims from Meghan's past. Angela stated calmly that Meghan's first husband, Trevor Engelson, allegedly told people she couldn't give him children.
I do believe because there are no delivery certificates, and I heard stories early on around the time Archie was allegedly in utero and being born. I heard stories that royal staffers were not allowed to see or touch her abdomen.
And when Angela said that, oh, the implications hit like lightning. If that's true, it could explain everything. The secrecy, the hidden pregnancies, the refusal to follow protocol. Angela revealed how a royal physician wasn't even permitted to examine Meghan during her pregnancies. Like, excuse me? If you're carrying a future heir to the throne, wouldn't you want the best care in the world? Wouldn't you proudly show off that royal bump? Then Angela referenced photographic evidence that's been hiding in plain sight. Getty images showing what appear to be inconsistencies. Moon bumps slipping, pillows dropping, footage of Meghan bending fully forward in heels while supposedly 8 months pregnant. Obstetricians have said that's physically impossible at that stage. And then came the most brutal observation. When you're pregnant, there's not a pillow under your skirt. She even cited live footage of Meghan walking in that black and white dress, her abdomen swaying side to side.
Is this a pregnant belly? Yes, that's supposed to be a real belly. Pregnant belly. Yeah, and I'm 15 years of age, which I'm not.
Muscles keep a baby intact. They don't let a bump wobble like that. Angela stayed steady, not even blinking, as she delivered her final blow. She reminded everyone, for centuries, royal births have been documented to the letter. Official witnesses, signed medical bulletins, transparent timelines. Yet, for the first time in royal history, all of it vanished.
It was a mystery, and hidden was kind of a red flag to me. I thought, why? Something's wrong.
Angela posed the obvious. If they have nothing to hide, why not just release the delivery certificates, DNA samples, hospital records? Instead, we get silence and legal threats. She pointed out Meghan's love of playing games with the media, how it's backfiring, and how her children are the ones paying the price. Meanwhile, social media went into absolute chaos. And somewhere in Montecito, Harry was reportedly on the verge of completely losing it. Angela had just connected dots on national TV that no one else dared to even whisper. Within hours, reports started flooding in that Harry had gone full nuclear behind the scenes. And no, not some composed royal statement. This was full meltdown. Sources whispered that his legal team was working overtime, drafting multiple cease and desist letters, not just to Angela, but to several outlets that repeated her claims. Word from inside Montecito was wild. Harry pacing the halls like a man possessed. And here's the part that everyone clocked. If Harry really wanted to end speculation, all he had to do was show the proof. Birth certificates, hospital records, done. But instead, he chose lawyers. Like, if someone accused you of something you could easily disprove, wouldn't you just show the proof? Exactly.
He doesn't think about anybody. He's never wrong. Meghan is never wrong.
Yeah.
They're always right in everything they do, but everyone else is wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can hold on to that when you're supposed to be a mature...
The moment news broke about Harry's legal threats, the public turned. Instead of seeing a dad protecting his kids, people started asking, what is he so desperate to hide? Because here's the thing about legal threats in the age of social media. They don't erase rumors, they supercharge them. Every cease and desist becomes proof of guilt in the court of public opinion. Every lawyer's letter looks like confirmation he's covering something up. And trust? It evaporated. Nobody could trust him. And Meghan? Oh, she was nowhere. While Harry was allegedly losing his mind, firing off emails demanding emergency meetings, Meghan stayed silent. She let him absorb all the backlash, all the criticism, and become the face of this whole disaster.
I think he was very, very uncomfortable. I think he felt very strange that he was there by himself.
And according to reports, this wasn't solidarity, it was calculated abandonment. Meghan, ever the strategist, seemed to be watching from the sidelines, waiting to see how much damage Harry would take before deciding whether to step in or cut her losses.
When she's being very quiet, she suddenly jumps back with something that's quite important to her, to get her own back, because she won't have liked that Harry was having all that television attention.
Apparently, Harry's paranoia got so bad, he started suspecting his own team. Multiple sources claimed he demanded staff hand over their phones for forensic checks. He even accused close friends of leaking to Angela and threatened to cut off anyone who didn't publicly defend him. But the kicker? It only made Angela look more credible. Every furious reaction just made her seem like the truth teller being silenced by powerful people with secrets to hide. Angela, meanwhile, was the picture of composure. No backtracking, no apologies. She calmly doubled down, appearing on more shows, restating her stance, saying if Harry had nothing to hide, he could simply prove her wrong. And the more Harry raged, the more reasonable Angela appeared. The public perception shift was instant. One moment Harry was the wronged prince, and the next, he looked like a man desperately hiding something. And honestly, this was the moment he walked straight into Angela Levin's perfectly set trap. Because while Harry was reportedly pacing Montecito like a storm in human form, Angela? Oh, she was sipping tea, perfectly composed and plotting her next move. Within minutes of her broadcast ending, social media had erupted. Hashtags like #Angela exposes Harry shot to the top of trending. People were sharing clips, rewinding footage, and suddenly connecting dots that had been in plain sight for years. Even the British tabloids, usually frothing at the mouth for anything Sussex, went feral. Headlines screamed, "Royal hypocrisy exposed" and "Levin lowers the boom." Even outlets that used to be sympathetic turned on him, portraying Harry as someone who'd completely lost control of his own story. And American entertainment shows? Oh, they went brutal. Morning show hosts were openly mocking him, with one even laughing that Harry seemed to be suing everyone while looking guilty of everything. Angela's genius counterattack. And this is where Angela showed everyone exactly why she's survived decades in royal journalism. Instead of backing down, she doubled down hard. While Harry was allegedly losing his mind behind palace-sized gates, Angela calmly booked herself onto GB News for a follow-up interview, and she came armed. She sat there with that same infuriatingly calm grandmother composure, looked straight into the camera and dropped a line that shook the entire narrative like an earthquake.
There's something compelling about hearing all this nasty between, you just want to know, you want to hear about it. You can't believe it. You can't believe what he's saying. You can't believe the lies he's telling.
If Harry thinks suing everyone will silence the truth, he's completely mistaken. In fact, it only makes people wonder what he's so desperately trying to hide. And just like that, the narrative flipped. This wasn't poor Harry being victimized by the mean media anymore. This was Harry looking like a man with serious secrets, flailing to bury the truth under piles of legal threats. The lawsuit bombshell. But Angela wasn't finished. Oh no, she had saved her most dangerous card for last. She went on live radio and casually hinted that if the courts ruled against Harry in his secret lawsuit, the fallout could actually affect his children's titles and even their legal standing within the monarchy. The headlines went nuclear. Angela Levin hints Harry's children could be affected by lawsuits screamed across the front pages. It didn't even matter that she was just speculating. The damage was done. And this is where Angela pulled off her most brilliant move yet. Every time Harry's team pushed back with vague denials or more legal threats, Angela would pop back up on another show the next morning, all sweet and calm, saying things like, "Well, if it isn't true, they could simply publish the legal documents to prove me wrong." It was masterful because Harry couldn't actually do it. Publishing those documents would confirm their existence and then potentially reveal the very secret he was desperate to keep hidden. So Angela created an impossible trap. Harry's silence made him look guilty. Responding would only bury him deeper. She wasn't just reporting news anymore. She was methodically destroying Harry's credibility while making herself look more reasonable with every appearance. And while Angela was dismantling the Sussex brand on live TV, another bombshell was quietly ticking inside the palace. Because behind the scenes, Prince William was reportedly planning something far more devastating. Multiple palace sources whispered that William had been holding secret discussions about restructuring royal titles entirely, in a way that would effectively cut Archie and Lilibet out of the monarchy forever. They said he'd been seriously considering stripping them of their HRH titles. Why? His reasoning was icy and pragmatic. These are American children raised in California with almost no real connection to Britain or royal tradition. So why should they represent the British royal family from across the Atlantic? To William, it was proof of his worst fears, that Harry and Meghan would inevitably exploit their children's titles for profit. And it wasn't hypothetical, it was already happening. Every time Meghan promoted her American Riviera Orchard brand, she was trading on her royal name. So William asked the question everyone else was too scared to voice. What happens when Archie and Lilibet come of age with HRH titles they could monetize? The line of succession nightmare. And the implications were staggering. These children are currently high in line for the throne, despite being raised completely outside British culture, with zero royal duties or training. William reportedly questioned if kids being raised to see the monarchy as a jail, Harry's own words by the way, should have any claim to represent that same institution. Meanwhile, back in Montecito, Meghan was allegedly in full crisis mode. Sources claimed she was frantically calling PR consultants, screaming about damage to their brand. Because yes, for them, this wasn't about family reputation or royal dignity anymore. It was about a commercial brand crumbling in real time. The pressure was so intense that Harry allegedly started demanding British passports for their children, with their HRH titles printed prominently. And when the process dragged on, he accused officials of deliberately stalling out of personal vendettas. But the most telling part? His justification. Harry reportedly said they needed the titles because the children might want to become working royals someday. Cue the royal experts collectively choking on their tea. These are American kids raised in California by parents who've spent years trashing the monarchy. The idea they'd suddenly cross the Atlantic to dedicate their lives to royal service was described as not just wishful thinking, it was delusional. William's ruthless resolve. Unlike his soft-hearted father, King Charles, William apparently had zero interest in being manipulated by emotional appeals or guilt trips. Palace insiders made it clear, when William becomes king, if he decides to strip those titles, it will be swift and final. But the reality? Even more embarrassing. Meghan would post these videos claiming to be sold out, but industry analysts noticed the sales figures only made sense if she was stocking tiny amounts to begin with. And the prices were pure fantasy. $14 for jam, $28 for rosé wine, $12 for herbal tea bags. Investigations revealed she was simply buying products from suppliers and marking them up by astronomical percentages. One analyst found the same tea she sold for $12 could be bought directly from her Illinois supplier for $4. Even worse, her marketing claimed the products were homegrown and organic, like she was personally tending the gardens. She obliterated Harry. One single TV appearance exposed years of lies, triggered a palace crisis, and left Harry frantically suing everyone, while proving her point flawlessly. Sometimes the truth really is more devastating than any conspiracy theory.